Will Matheson here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Today, in a very special episode, we infiltrate Doom Castle. Hey. 1, 2, 3, 4... Oh, funny, I thought there were only 4 crystals. I don't know what that's about. Huh. Oh well, I'm sure it's nothing important. And just because the music is so good, I'm actually going to keep my mouth shut and just let you listen to it. Aren't I a nice guy? Okay, back to business. We have ninjas. They are weak. No, I'm sorry, shadows. Well, they look like ninjas, just a palette swap. Anyway, they are weak to Blizzard, so definitely cast Blizzard on them. Get those guys out of the way. There we go. The 2 ninjas fail to kick back. Phoebe's blind, but that doesn't really matter. And we want to go all the way up to the very, very top right, as far as we can go. Nothing of interest on the other paths. Whee! Okay, we're gonna come back there in a second, but first... Okay. Oh, and by the way, I'm not scrupling against using magic, because this is the final dungeon, so, you know, I'm gonna crack some seeds when I have to. I think that's fair, don't you? Anyway, otherwise we'd be here for hours. Oh boy. Now those guys in the middle enemies in this area tend to be the weak ones from many, many dungeons ago, perhaps even the Bone Dungeon itself, so you can one-hit them with just about anything, really. Death Knells are weak to Quake. Unfortunately, you can only multi-target Quake, so you kind of have to leave your Quake casting till the end, really. Unless you want to just cast it first and soften everybody up, which is also a valid strategy. And we have the Aegis Shield. Very nice. Oh good, got protection against petrification. Oh, and Phoebe's stats are back the way they're supposed to be. I mean the elemental defense and status defense. And that's good, that'll come in handy. Be nice if she had petrify protection, though, as you'll see. Oh well, you can't win them all. I guess, you know, I don't know, would you actually rather have Kaylee? And Kaylee doesn't have any wizard magic, though, that's the only thing. And the bow's kinda cool for some enemies. Some enemies are weak to shoot attacks. So I don't know. There is really no perfect secondary character. They all have their pluses and minuses. Really, it'd be fun to just sort of hack the save state and make the character be whatever you want. I might do that. See if it's possible. So if I do that, there might be a bonus episode. Anyhow. think I can one-off the... No, well, I missed. But I think I can one-off the Steph Nose with Excalibur. See, they're pretty weak. They only have a couple hundred HP, those guys in the middle. Okay, well, I did one-off them with Excalibur. Pretty nice. Slip across here. There's our friend, the Minotaur Zombie. Again, he's the weak one, so you can just work on him with anything, really. So let's just worry about the tough guys first. Which is kind of counterintuitive. Usually they say, always destroy the weakest enemy first. But, you know, that's not necessarily true, because if the weakest enemy is really that weak, you know, he might not do that much damage to you. Now, if they all have the same attack power, now that's a different story. Then you do want to destroy the weakest enemy first. There we go. Alright, let's just get around this guy. And no dice, huh? Alright. Now all of the bosses in this area, in this dungeon, I mean this mega dungeon, they all have friends, and friends can be really nasty. You definitely want to fight conservatively in the opening rounds of all of these battles. Anyway, lucky that both Phoebe and I have blizzards, so we're able to get rid of the ninjas. I mean shadows, sorry. And we just crank out the wizard magic. And could you imagine if Phoebe had flare? She'd probably do like 3,000 damage. So I'm gonna try to hack that. I can't promise anything because I might just end up like screwing it up. So I'm gonna leave it until after I complete the game legitimately, until I do that, before I start messing with my save state. You know, I want to have the recording all done and everything I need to do. So if it screws up, you know, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, I suppose I could have backup save states or backup ROMs, but I don't know. I don't want to go to all that trouble. I just kind of want one and done. I've never hacked a save state before though, so it might not work out very well. So, it's going to be just a fun little learning experience for me. Also, I don't know how many people actually need to hack this game to get, like, the thought of doing so is really kind of hilarious. Okay, now we're at the upper levels of Doom Castle. And we revisit the ice area, or ice pyramid, in miniature. Which is kind of cool. This is my favorite part. Anyway, we've got 3 ninjas now. Now in my test run, I tried multi-targeting Blizzard, but it took like 3 or 4 rounds to do it that way, so yeah, don't do it that way. It's faster to single-target Blizzard. Oh man. Ouch. That's annoying. I meant to show you, and I will show you, something with the claws in a bit. Anyway. Now, I don't really have a particular rhyme and reason as to which order I'm going about this. I suppose you could try to finesse it and do it in the fewest number of steps, but it's highly complex. There's a lot of, like, you have to open this door, to open this door, to open this way, to continue the path you were on that started with the first door. Like, it's really confusing. Well, I mean, not confusing, but it's like a little crochet piece, and it's like a maze or something, and I'm trying to trace my way across it, and I just couldn't be arsed, really. I'm sure you'll feel the same way when you play this stage. I mean, just you know, go wherever and just flick your sword at statues, and just, you know, you'll figure it out eventually. It's kind of fun that way, actually. It's kind of like a tease and a frustration to get around, and there aren't too many enemies, and the enemies aren't that difficult, so it's really, I mean, this is definitely my favorite part of the dungeon, because it's just kind of fun, and it's always like a new experience for me each time I play the game, because I forget which way to go every time, so it's good times. often forget to open that one. I think it's kind of optional. Yeah, we're not really actually doing anything with it right now. Okay, I need to go all the way around to the top right, I think, before I continue up through there, which will take me back down around to the lower left eventually. Okay, right, I wanted to do this one first. Right, it was in my test run that I went the wrong way. So I'm thinking, I'm watching this, I'm like, do I go the wrong way here? So again, the Thankwood is kind of weak, but the Thanatos and the Shadow are full strength enemies that are more worthy. Anyway, we'll just... Does it work? Yay! There we go. So yeah, sometimes you can one-off enemies with the claw because it petrifies them, which is kind of fun, but it's kind of unreliable. You're much better off using spells, really. I suppose it could bail you out of a jam if you're really desperate, but like it might bail you out, so you're much better off using spells. I mean, you can always just use a seed in battle, right? I mean, the seeds are so abusive. Like, it'd be one thing if you could use them only outside battles, but you can use them in battle too. You know, I don't think you're ever going to see that. I don't think I ever did it in this Let's Play. I just did it when I was doing test runs, just for, you know, just to keep the party going. Anyhow. Now, amazingly, these freezer crabs are not particularly weak to fire. I know, huh? I mean, you'd think it would be a no-brainer. Really, a crab made of ice. But no, can't get across there. Okay, okay, so we want to go back to where it was. I said we'd go through after we went to the upper right and opened that hatch. We've got another hatch to open. Just keep on coming. Yay! Refreshers that I will never, ever, ever use. I really care about that 1 point of defense that I lose. Actually, I don't know how it affects your stats. Might be worth looking up in a hint book or something to see how, or hack the game or something to find out what the stats are. That would be interesting. So I attacked the Genie Fellow Blizzard because I know that my character is capable of one-offing it from my experience in the Lava Dome. Was I able to one-off from there? I don't know, anyway. Close enough. No, nothing there that I can push. Just arrows that I can't possibly carry. I'm not really using Phoebe's attack that much, really. Oh boy. Cerberus. These guys are nasty. Probably the most dangerous enemies in the dungeon. I mean, they're old pals, I guess, from previous haunts, but... oh man, they're just so dangerous. They're weak to fire, but they're so strong against magic, I can't one-off them. But Phoebe can. Phoebe has a magic stat that's like double mine, so she can do it. If she ever gets on confused. Suppose there's a seldomly used verb, on confuse. Yeah, and the stone golem, he's not really weak to much that I know of. Just have to go at him with your high-end wizard magic. I think he absorbs fire, which you're not really expecting. You're in an ice area, you kind of expect the final enemy to be weak to fire, but no, that's not what's happening here. Oh boy. Yeah, so you definitely want to get rid of the Cerberus first. I mean, they're public enemy number 1, for sure. Okay, battle's a lot easier now with those guys going. You know, I could have tried Meteor, it is Earth Elemental, but I never did. Anyway, if you try that out and get better results, let me know in the comments. Okay, well, we're working on it. Slowly but surely. A few more rounds ought to do it. Okay. I am strong against your confusion attempts. Very nice. It's even fun just getting out of here, because you can just ratchet yourself across to random places. Repel, I don't know what you call that. Grapple your way through. There we go. See ya. Not bothering with that guy. Completely useless encounter that would be. Okay, lava area. And we're just gonna take a little shortcut here. Okay, again, the Stefanos are weak to earth, and the Cerberuses are weak to fire. We want Phoebe to attack with fire, she's much stronger. Is it magic anyway? Oh, that's not too bad, that softens him up a bit. And you should be able to wipe him out with one more quake. Good times. It was at this point I inserted a Neil Young song called Broken Arrow, but it won't work on YouTube, so we're skipping that. Sorry guys. I guess I got in trouble because the clip ran too long. So I left myself with over a minute of dead air. I gotta fill this up with something. What's the weather like today? -3.5. Probably another decent skiing day, although you'll hear me talk about the skiing later in this video. I did go skiing. It turned out to be kind of fast. And the tracks were kind of there were gaps in places, so I almost pulled my groin coming down a hill trying to stay upright. Maybe I should have just fallen. Oh well. Yeah, and you know, one person falls, and then it makes it worse for everybody because then there's hardly any track left where they fall. So it's easier for the next person to fall and wreak more havoc. Just how it works, I guess. Well, I suppose a Rod Stewart reference would also have been effective. Or equally ineffective, more likely. That was a repeat encounter. And now we get to the heads of this operation. Now let's crank some seats. Oh, abusive much? Boy, oh boy. So that's why I wasn't using them before. They kind of take away from the challenge of the game, really. Okay. Yeah, let's do Meteor. Let's hope we knock off Stephano because she's weak to Earth. Meteor is Earth Elemental. Oh, good times. Still got her with the multi-target. That's good. Now let's go nuts. Phoebe's poisoned, but that doesn't really matter. Small potatoes, really. Hooray! And we gotta get out of here. Shortcut. Except somebody put some dogs in the way. We'll have to exterminate them first. There we go. Sometimes you get 3 Cerberuses there. That's kind of deadly. Up to the next floor. Now this floor, you have to be careful. If you actually step out of line when you're walking around along here like this, you'll actually fall down to the previous floor. So be careful. Oh, there we go. 3 Cerberuses. Not much fun, but let's see what we can do. Fire! Boy. Good thing I've got protection and Phoebe's got projectile weapons. Well, I hardly ever use Phoebe's projectile weapons. Fire! Oh, Excalibur! Critical hit! Confusion, petrify! Fire! Okay. Enough of that. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, can't fall off when you're up top, just when you're down below. Yeah, I think I was remarking earlier, it would be nice to have Kaylee because she has protection against Petrify, but, you know, what are you gonna do? Got no choice, no control. Just gotta deal with the cards you're dealt. Wow, I really, really hate working in a call center. This takes a lot out of me because I have to talk on the phone for 7.5 hours, 5 days a week, and yeah, I guess that's not a crazy long shift, 37.5, but man, oh man, it's just really hard on my voice and my wrists. Like, I'm always just talking and typing and talking and typing. I'm just, man, I just hate it. It's just, and people are so rude. Like, even when I'm bending over backwards to help them, it's really stressful because you got pressure coming at you from, you know, the supervisors at headquarters, you get pressure coming at you from your own supervisor, you get pressure coming at you from the callers, you got pressure coming at you from the client, you got pressure coming at you from your co-workers, you got pressure coming at you from the freaking building custodians. The town administrator was not too pleased that the front door was unlocked. Oh, jeez. Like, I hate this job so much. Anyway, it's easy to say it here because it's in the middle of a YouTube video that no one's going to watch. So, anyway, so if you're wondering why my voice is kind of raspy and and it's part of the reason why I'm having trouble getting these out regularly. Also because I don't get the house here to myself very often, so that kind of makes it difficult. But I don't even know if anything significant has happened in these last few battles. But, you know, just keep doing what we do. Cerberuses are weak to fire, and ninjas are weak to blizzard. Anyway, you've signed on to watch me kick this game's butt, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm strong against the petrify attack. Yippee. Fire! Oh boy, Freezer Crab, Chimera, and Cerberus. Whatever are we going to do? Oh, at least Phoebe got her attack off. Okay, well this guy I can pretty much work on with anything. He's the weak one. There we go. Two Thanatos and a Cerberus. starting to doubt myself as to whether it's necessary to show every possible configuration, but you don't want to miss 1 second of this optimal strategy. You really don't. I mean, this is what you're paying the big bucks for. Can we get this guy? Yes, we can. Well, they sure give you a lot of enemies in this 4th area. It's probably my least favorite of the 4 parts of the dungeon. It's needlessly complex. I liked the ice area, you know, I think it was just right. Had just the right amount of puzzle aspect and enemy aspect. This area it's kind of cool that you can fall off, but that's about it. I say I didn't much care for Pazuzu's Tower either. I like the whole elevator idea, but I would have liked to have seen it be more consistent and more understandable. Like, you should only have to flick the switch in one place if he happens to be below that place, if you know what I'm saying. And I don't think the mechanics are set up really in a sensible way. Anyway. We gained a level. And here we go, on a great big tour. Round and round we go. Where it stops, only the reincarnation of Pazuzu knows. Perhaps I'm just showing this because this is the penultimate battle. We might have had this configuration before. Oh no, we didn't. We didn't. It might have been Cerberus, Chimera, and Freezer Crab. Well. So it's a race to... Well, she can't get off arrows, so she's just gonna have to heal. Anyway, as I was saying, I have a hard time recording these videos because I don't often have the house here to myself. It's different, like this is a smaller house when I'm staying with my aunt and uncle, so I have to kind of wait till they leave because the sounds and everything just travel right through it. I don't really have my own place where I can set things up, so I've just got the computer in the dining room. Oh well, I've only got a few more videos anyway, so we should be good. Okay, Za, let's get this over with quickly. I want to go skiing. Good skiing here today. Should be. That's minus 3.4 degrees Celsius. We should be alright. As always, make sure you get rid of the little friends first. We're kind of at a disadvantage though here because I don't think I have anything that can one-shot Chimera. I have arrow, but I needed arrow for Thanatos. So I mean, I didn't have a thing on each character that could one-shot both of them in the same turn. Oh well, they're gone now. I'm just gonna try out arrow, but probably better off with wizard magic. Ouch. Yeah, not bad, but... Ooh, flare. Let's see who does more damage. There it is. I think flare's it's significantly more powerful than white. But because my magic stat is only half of Phoebe's, it only looks a little bit more powerful than white. Oh boy, Psych Shield. So, do not cast spells at this moment on Zoo. You can heal yourselves, but, don't cast anything on him. They did not include the Dispel spell in this game, unfortunately. I wonder if Dispel is a reflectable spell or not in the main Final Fantasies. Then how would you get rid of somebody's Reflect? I guess the only thing you could do is kill them. And you might have a hard time doing that because they have Reflect cast on them. Well, we're making progress. Hopefully I'll get around the 8-kilometer trail before the sun sets. That would be nice. Sight shield again, oh boy. I rocked you like a hurricane. Okay, just a few more minutes to go. This will be rendering and I'll hit the ski trails. Come on. He attacks with the Psych Shield. I wonder what that 1 point does if it's... I guess it is a 1 point of damage because you can see it tick off, but it must do something else. I mean, it must affect my status or something. My stats, I mean. Okay. Got him. You know, I like to sing a lot, and I hope this call center job doesn't completely destroy my singing voice. Maybe I should be doing vocal warm-ups before I get on the phone. Mala, 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 mala. You know, oh, I can't even do it. You have to take a really deep breath and then just sort of thrub your lips. Kind of like that. Anyway, easiest way is to just fall down and go back through this lava area. Save ourselves a bit of time and frustration. And that'll do it for today's episode of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Next time we play Monty Hall and we see whether there's a goat or a car behind the final door. See you next time!